Yo, what is going on, guys? Aspect Gaming Matt once again in GTNH, and today we're going to be working on a new area of the base, or I guess an old area rather that I'm reworking, and that is the passives area. So I haven't done much work over here in a long time. Pretty much everything in my base right now is on demand, and it's starting to cause some problems as we're scaling up into ZPM. So we're going to take some time to remake a lot of these setups. Primarily the EECs are all going to get remade at a higher voltage with better systems to contain the items. A whole lot of stuff's going to happen. I'm also going to be working on some EIGs today, the Extreme Industrial Greenhouses, as well as setting back up my tree growth simulator, but in a way that's automatic. I don't have to babysit it. So let's start working on that. I built these little like cubby holes for each of the machines. I'm not going to wall share them. The materials are so cheap. I'd rather it look good than be wall shared. So we're going to be putting the EIGs and the EECs in these little slots here like this. Down here, I had to make a new setup as well. This is a air centrifuge setup. There's 4 of them, and they all have 4 different air intake hatches, and that's not enough air to keep it running 24/7. These are actually like underclocking the recipe. Like, it's not doing enough. They're all running at IV. This is fast enough for my purpose at the moment, but it could be improved with faster air intake hatches or more of them if you want to like completely cover them. But I'm filling up 1024K. I guess it's a 1 MB cell. So I have a lot of nitrogen and a lot of oxygen now. I'm voiding the nitrogen. I'm sending excess nitrogen to a matter condenser on a low priority storage bus, just so that my bottleneck will be my oxygen storage, not the nitrogen. So these will shut off when the oxygen is full. And I'll do this on a bigger system, probably like a bulk storage system, just in a little bit. I'm not ready to set that up at the moment. The first 2 EIGs are set up. I can't think of any more that I want at the moment. These are the most important ones. This one's making peanuts. So the peanuts are really important to me because I want to make seed oil from them. So I'm just going to get a ton of seed oil. This is useful for a lot of different reasons. Some miscellaneous autocrafts like garden soil and like impregnated sticks and other things like that. The main purpose is just making glycerol. The glycerol is pretty easy to make. We're gonna passive this, I believe, or at least have like a ton of it on demand and ready. And with the glycerol, you can make epichlorohydrin, which will free me up from having to use a recipe that requires propane. And propane comes in very small quantities from oil bioprocessing, which I'm trying to phase out if I can, but we'll see how viable that is. The second one is lapis lazuli. Pretty self-explanatory. There's a lot of stuff you get out of lapis. The way that I got this is the lazulia seeds, if you remember. I made these a long time ago. So the lazulia seeds are made in the crucible from Thaumcraft. It is Census and Lucrum. There's a couple other good seeds from Thaumic bases. I don't have them right now. The main ones are Redlawn. See, this is, I don't even want to see them here. Yeah, Redlawn, Lazulia, Swede for sugar. I don't need that anymore, though. I don't remember what Gleonia is. I forget what that one is. It says it makes glowstone. I think I need that because I have redstone and gold sources in other ways, but that's interesting. So yeah, this is all feeding into a A2 subnet, which is powered by a controller here. This is going to be the net that sort of stores the intermittent items that are coming out of these things, and they're going to be processed farther down. So I'm going to extend this line, and we're going to start processing things. I guess we'll just cut it through the pillar. It's okay. Yeah, the first process is going to be making seed oil. So I'm going to set up this large fluid extractor, and I'm going to use the EV coils for this. I realize I can upgrade my superconductor coils, but it's a little bit annoying. We will do that soon. The fluid extractor is completed. The peanuts that are coming in kind of slowly. Maybe I got to increase that to LUV. I don't really know. It's fine how it is for now. But stocking input bus with peanut filter. The peanuts come into here instantly. This just runs. I don't want the peanuts for any reason but to be turned into seed oil, so they all just come here and get eaten by the fluid extractor. Then they output here. This output goes into my subnet here. And then I'm storing the seed oil there. And then I have a level emitter now, where if I have below 5 million seed oil, it will run the EIG. If it's over that, it'll stop. I just determined that that's an acceptable number. I could easily increase that. And then just have some storage here for it. No big deal. Okay, so now next thing to do, let's allow this to interface with the main net. So I want to have a dual interface and a storage bus. I need a fluid bus and a regular storage bus. So we'll do one dual interface and one regular interface. I'm out of them? Oh, no, there we go. I have 100 of them. And this is pretty normal. Been doing this a lot. Are they placed backwards? Yeah, they are. I just probably don't like being placed in that way. There we go. They don't like being put on the dense cable like that. You gotta give them a little offshoot cable. And there we go. Pretty straightforward as always. Once you get a hold of the more advanced AE2 concepts in the pack, it really starts to make things come together. So like basically I'm using 2 channels for like a bajillion things. And then on both of these, we'll put it on extract only, I believe, is the correct one. So I should be able to see a lot of seed oil. Yeah, but I won't be able to input to this network items that go into my main net. I only can see into this network, which is what I want. I've determined that this is a little bit too slow. So let's remedy that. We are going to 1 of equal trade the glass to a higher tier. So I don't even notice a difference in the color. That's dangerous. Well, hopefully it formed correctly. And then we're going to remove the transformer. Add in the new energy hatch. See, this is how easy it is. When you make things easy on yourself, you can upgrade stuff very easily. Okay, yeah, that is thorium yttrium right there. Hopefully it formed. Yeah, looks like it did. Okay, so we'll reconnect that. Then we can resume the machine. Oh, you know what we could do? We could add more seeds now. Forgot about that part. So put it to input mode and just throw the seeds in. I can make 48 more. I'll do that later. So we'll operate. Then we'll see how fast it is now. 208. I think we're at 128 before. And yeah, I think the time's a lot faster too. Okay, cool. So we're making lapis much faster now. Now I have told this machine I want you to begin producing when my lapis amount is above 100,000. Hoping that that can outproduce this. It kind of looks like it can because it hasn't stopped running. But yeah, I think I'm going to tell this guy to stop if my lapis amount is like absurdly high. Maybe like... Actually, I could tell if the byproducts are done. That's a good question. What should be the reason this turns off? That's a good question. Well, let me just keep going. I'm going to make the byproducts. So the lapis dust is going to get processed down through, I believe, multiple electrolyzation steps. Maybe it was a centrifuge. I forgot. Yeah, it looks like it's going to centrifuge. We get lazurite, sodalite, and pyrite. Don't really care about this. The calcite's nice to have. The pyrite just becomes iron. We could actually turn this into iron and sulfur too, maybe. I'll think about that. But yeah, these are the good stuffs. These have aluminum, silicon, calcium, sodium, chlorine. A lot of good stuff in them. So we're going to process all these down. Most likely in 1 electrolyzer that's like pretty good, maybe 2. So let me cook that up. We got a little dual electrolyzer action going on here. These are all really easy problems to solve and I'm enjoying it. It's satisfying. So in the middle here we have an advanced stocking input bus. The cool thing is I'm going to throw all my dust that need to be processed on this subnet. So this guy's going to be able to handle pretty much everything. So for example, let's just throw the pyrite on there too, because why not? I'll want to do that as well. We'll get the sulfur and the iron out of that. I am going to get sulfur production from blaze powder, but a little bit of an extra source doesn't hurt anybody. So yeah, we're going to run that. I guess I'll make a multi-smelter for the iron. I guess I don't need the iron to be smelted, right? Could I send iron dust directly to liquid iron? I'm not sure. Iron dust Greg Tech. Is there a fluid extractor recipe? What? You could send small piles to, but not the big one? I'm confused. Okay, here it is. Yeah, so iron dust goes directly to molten iron. I don't care then. We'll keep it as iron dust. And the resources are already pouring in. Tons of aluminum, silicon, calcite, sulfur, and iron. Really nice. And calcium. You know, there's one thing I'm forgetting. I need a potassium. Let's focus on that next, maybe. One more thing that I forgot. I want to make a control circuit for each of these to turn them off. This one I think is pretty straightforward. I just wanted to shut off when I reach a certain amount of seed oil. This one's more complicated, though. So I want this thing to shut off if it has more than 150k lapis. That's just an arbitrary number. But I want to turn the macerator off if 3 statements are true. I have over 100,000 calcite. I have over 100,000 silicon and 100,000 aluminum. If all of those 3 are true, it will send a redstone signal, which will turn off the maceration stack. So that's what we were doing. So this will stop when it is happy, and then that should take a while, to be honest with you. But it'll buffer up one day, and then if I want more, I'll just add an extra 0 in all of those, and that's no big deal. And it's also an AND gate, so all 3 must agree. So if I run out of one of these materials, it will turn back on and fill it back up, which I think this is really nice. The other materials that it's making, I don't really care about. They're kind of limiting factors, like the calcium and the sulfur and the iron. I don't really care that much. Those are just byproducts. They're nice to have. We'll get these from other sources and have those shut-offs specific to that. The next set of 2 machines are 2 EECs. So the one on the right is the Queen Gas. These things are really nice. I've been through this before. They give you emeralds, gold, gunpowder, which is fine, gas tiers. I have partitioned a void cell. I don't want a million spawn gas eggs, so we're going to see if this works. I've never used one of these before. This feels a bit dangerous to do. Oh, I got to get rid of the other stuff too. There's like a lot of junk that could be happening in these. Okay, it seems like that worked. Yeah, I'm getting infernal mobs. Let me turn them off, actually. No, you are not allowed. See, you forget. I made provisions to prevent this, and look what happens anyways. Okay, there. Infernal mobs are off. Let me clean this up. Okay, we're all set up now. The shutoffs are in place, and the enemy system is cleaned up. So in the back of the gassed one, we have potassium at 100k, gold at 1,000,000, and then emeralds at 1,000,000. So once it reaches those 3, it will turn off the EEC and then stop the flow of those items. Now, other thing, some people might say that it is bad practice to use ME level emitters on a large AE network. That is true. That's the reason why I split this off from my main network to a much smaller network, which is this orange net here. So we should be safe. If it causes lag, I could think of a different way to do it, but I don't think it's going to, based on that precaution that I took. So to shut off the witches, we need 1,000,000 redstone, we need 10,000 blaze powder, and then 1,000,000 sulfur. That might be a lot of sulfur. We'll turn that down to 100,000. And we'll see what kind of numbers we're getting. But yeah, once those 3 agree, the witches will turn off then as well. So let's take a look at what we got so far. Pretty nice. The gas tiers that are coming in from the gas are turning into a ton of chlorine. So if we take a look over here, I guess I'd rather just show you the recipe with the gas tier. It might be easier. So in an LCR on circuit 9 with water, they create potassium and lithium, and then you also get salt water. The potassium is what I'm really interested in. The salt water is nice to have because the salt water we just break apart in an electrolyzer. We get more sodium hydroxide. Not that we need more of that because I have a ton of it already. Which, maybe I even re-electrolyze that again, to be honest with you. But we're getting that right now. A bunch of hydrogen and a bunch of chlorine. So that's a nice little passive to have as well. It caught up pretty quickly, so the gas tiers aren't produced that fast to like keep it at a very high rate, I don't believe. But, it's nice to have as a little bonus. Always appreciate that. Okay, now what else do I want to do? I kind of disqualified a whole bunch of my EECs. Like, I don't need blazes anymore. This consolidated a whole bunch, so let me see what else I want to do. I have a whole chest of spawners over here, some of which are weird, some of which are useful. Like slime has niche uses, the helmet crab. So this is a funny thing. The night metal has like extremely niche uses, some of which I might actually look into. You need night metal plates for... I think it's like actually quadrant night metal plates, but you need that for compressed solars. So I just grabbed one of those guys. And also the block looks kind of cool. So let me go through. Maybe Enderman can go back into it as well. But yeah, most of these are I'm pretty done with. There were 2 more that I forgot about that are very, very important. We have the Redcap Sapper, the classic. This guy makes a ton of garbage if you don't remember him. What's he make? He make the golden apples. So a lot of the things I get coal, it's fine, I guess. Like, I don't need that much of it. He makes a lot of it. Makes a lot of diamonds. So flawless diamonds, exquisite diamonds, and then the regular diamonds as well. I'm just storing these 2 higher tier diamonds. I'm not breaking them down at the moment Because like if I want to break them down, it's like a millisecond in the forge hammer. I don't see a reason to break them down automatically. I'm voiding the gold nuggets. I don't care. He drops gapples, so I'm centrifuging those. When you centrifuge these, you actually do get methane out of it as well. It's a good bonus, not something that is that large. Then we get like every Thaumcraft shard that's relevant, and then gallium. So the tiny piles of gallium, I'm not dealing with it yet. What I do plan on doing is, I don't even know why I went here. It's force of habit. I have a lot of gallium tiny piles in here. And then like just in general, there's a couple different tiny piles that I accumulate over time. I want to make a packager. Yeah, I actually have a ton of tungstate piles. I want to make a packager that automatically pulls in all the tiny dusts and all the small dusts that I have in my base that I want packaged, and to do it automatically basically. And that'll probably go in that area over there and not this one over here. So that's that. I think that's everything that I want to do for now. Oh, I can set this up again too, the tree growth simulator. So let me tear this down and then we'll rebuild it around this. Okay, the trees are tied back in. This is going to run whenever I'm low on spruce wood. So it should be stopping in just a moment, right? I'm saying if I have less than 100k spruce wood, I want you to produce. So when I'm over 100k, this will stop, which I think is pretty straightforward and simple. It looks like it needs a storage cell. Do I have any 64Ks? Let's see. You gotta click on this sometimes, otherwise you can't get numbers up there. Yeah, I do. We'll put that in there. Now this can run perfectly all the time. Or at least for a very, very long time. Okay, perfect. So, yeah, again, I'm just maintaining this one as well. Or level emitting this one, rather. Okay, I think we're done here for today. In other news, guys, we can finally craft up a UV mainframe, the crystal processor mainframe. I couldn't afford it last time because I was out of propane, but now we can actually craft some of them. So this should go in here. That takes 160 seconds, so yeah, we'll be right back. And there it is, my first ever UV circuit. I've never made it that far before. So let's instantly destroy this in the cutting machine to make an imprint. I need the... Yeah, okay, that's how you do it. I do need an imprint, though. Do I have a bookmark still? Yes. Okay, there we go. Mainframe's completed. So I believe this one is designated for this one. Yeah, this one's missing imprint, and it has, yes, the slot crystal mainframe. Okay, perfection. So now if I ask for more mainframes, might as well ask for a batch of 16. I have most of the stuff created already. And now we could start doing actual UV tier crafts. So I guess I'll investigate what exactly this unlocks for me. Looks like a new meteor, actually. 16 radius, Nequadria, enriched Nequada. That's interesting. And Tiberium. Why is Tiberium familiar? Did I need that for something? This is probably important, right? Yeah, the core. That literally makes the core. Hold on a minute. Well, yeah, that's OP. Okay, let me bookmark that one. That is very interesting. Maybe not today, but for a time that is in the near future. That is interesting. All right, you know what, guys? I'm actually satisfied. I think that I did a good amount of work, solved some problems, remade some old setups that were pretty ugly. So I'll clean up the rest of the room later. I need to put these back online. These are all the Ender IO machines. I'll find a spot that makes sense for them. Maybe we'll just shove them in the lawn base, you know? But yeah, I'm happy with what we accomplished. This is really nice. Until next time, guys, thank you all for watching, and I'll hope you have a good day.